welcome to this special edition of MindShareTV. I'm your host, Robert Martellacci, founder of MindShare Learning and Co-Chair of the 16th Canadian EdTech AI Summit. With just weeks to go until Canada's most anticipated AI-in-EdTech gathering, we're thrilled to offer this sneak peek series featuring some remarkable speakers. Today, I'm honored to have welcome a true national leader in educational technology and innovation, Peter Singh, Chief Technology Officer at the Toronto District School Board, Canada's largest school district, and I'm a proud alumni of it. And Peter will be kicking off the summit with a dynamic opening fireside chat panel, helping set the tone for what promises to be a transformative gathering. AI-ready school systems from vision to implementation is today's theme. Welcome, Peter. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you for the opportunity to actually share the thoughts. And I truly appreciate this chat.
Pleasure. A little bit about Peter Singh. He's the, as I said, Chief Technology Officer or Executive Officer of Technology at the Toronto District School Board, where he leads one of the most complex educational IT infrastructures in Canada, serving over 240,000 students and 40,000 staff with over 2 decades of experience in digital transformation, cybersecurity, and exclusive access to learning technologies. Peter has become a visionary voice for AI readiness in education. He's also founding member of the C21 CIO Alliance and a key advisor to the C21 Canada AI Use Case Project in partnership with Dell Technologies, helping shape a national roadmap for AI integration in K-12 educational environments. Wow, that's a pretty tall order. And how has that job evolved over the years, Peter, since you've taken the reins? You've seen a lot happen.
Definitely. I truly seen a big transformation when it comes to EdTech space. And I remember the days when we used to take the business models and actually try to turn them into classroom working models. And over the years now, the tier one vendor partners, and they have all invested in education a big time. So it's definitely been a true transformation when it comes to classroom technology over the last 10 plus years. And we are also benefiting on the IT technology side of things, the back end, and we are seeing big benefits kids are seeing in the classroom, and the teachers are leveraging these next generation tools to actually really pivot their pedagogy and deliver the outcomes.
Fascinating. Well, let's start with your vision as CTO of Canada's largest school board. How are you navigating this transformative moment in education? As Dr. Hinton, Professor Emeritus from the University of Toronto, who is serendipity, is where we're hosting our summit in just 43 days, talks about this being the second industrial revolution in education with AI at the forefront. How are you, how's that vision evolving? It's you've been through this rodeo of digital transformation. How is it different this time around? I'm curious. And where
I think it's a very important question, Robert. Thank you. And the one thing I see is the speed, the pace the AI has brought over the last number of years. It's been huge, and you can literally see the adoption charts. The years have been turned into months, the months have been turned into weeks, and the weeks have turned into hours. The growth has exploded. And with that, we are all impacted. When we say we are all impacted, doesn't matter if we're in the classroom space or in our personal lives. AI is around us. And I know the adults got excited around ChatGPT, but AI has been around us in so many different ways. People just forgot about it, that it's there.
Right.
From a simple things, Alexa sitting in your room, or your ring, or the doorbells,
Or spell check for that matter.
spell check, and again, the word processors already had some of those built-in features for a number of years.
Right.
So we've been living this space for a while, but now with ChatGPT, it just went into a next level, and that has impacted classroom space a big time. And
Absolutely.
to me, uh, getting ready for these big transformative technologies, you have to have few things in place. And I call it plumbing. Core plumbing is to have those rock solid systems in place, so your stakeholders can really thrive driving these newer next generation platforms, and also create an environment where you actually knock down the barriers and start restricting things, blocking things. You open them up, and then also start to build guidelines, guardrails to
Hmm.
guide young learners, and also teachers and the staff members, saying what's allowed, what's not allowed, so they understand the pitfalls. And at the same time, you still have to protect uh, the environments which we operate in at TDSB. Your data is extremely important. So people need
Right.
to understand what can go out, what can't go out, and there are definitely some controls need to be in place to leverage it. So that's to me the plumbing that needs to be in place for individual
Right.
learners, teachers, and staff members to really leverage this platform.
Yeah. From a school system perspective, to be AI ready, uh, I mean, is anyone ever ready these days because it's happening? And how is TDSB positioning itself in that direction when it comes to, teachers dealing with the complexities? You must be getting deluged, or your team, on, from the help desk perspective, on supporting and addressing this complexity right now. What does a day in the life of Peter Singh look like when it comes to dealing with this AI readiness equation? Because it must be the topic of conversation on a very regular hourly basis, no doubt.
It's definitely the queries come hard and fast, and a lot of things are people just wanted to know more about it, and
Right.
that's where it lands. Um, the mind and the thinking is how do we help to build capacity across the system,
Hmm.
because it's not one individual or group of two or three driving this. To work with 16,000 full-time teachers and close to 10,000 occasional teacher in the environment, how do you really help to move the needle? That means you need a decent sized team to help you out. So that's
Right.
where the program we've been running around for almost 10 plus years, we call it digital lead learners. So these are a
Right.
group of teachers who actually work with us centrally. We help initially first year or so to build their own capacity. And year two
Right.
and three, they go back to the system, help us to take this new learning to each school classroom and their own network of schools to help us to build capacity. So
Right.
it's a layered approach. There is not a magic wand you can just
Hmm.
uh, pull out and make things happen overnight. In the past, any technology we decided to roll out centrally and make sure adoption is throughout the ecosystem. It does take us almost 3 school years. But now I see AI has been organically taken over at grassroots level. So people are hungry to learn more and explore what else can be done with this one. How can this save me time? How can it
Hmm.
speed up the things I used to do it manually? Now I can have these tools to help me out. From as simple things, teachers creating quizzes or assignments, creating a
Hmm.
rubric, to all the way staff looking at how do I actually craft an email effortlessly? How do you take a big research report and quickly summarize for me
Right.
so I can actually understand this 100-page report I don't have time to read, but an executive
Right.
summary will
Exactly.
help me to get into a discussion. So I have seen those simple adoptions in our environment so far. But again, it's slow and steady. It's not something that everyone is leveraging it. It's
Right.
some of the folks who are ready to take the risk. They're not scared to play with technology. They are the one leading this across the district.
Yeah. No. Well said. So you've been part of founding member of the C21 CIO Alliance. How has that national collaboration helped accelerate innovation and system-wide level of change in the AI space from your perspective?
I think that national level collaboration has always been important. So I think when you are just staying within your own lane, uh, that can only get you so far. And to me, you want to learn what's happening across the country, shore to shore to shore. So the reaching out to individual school districts across the country and working with those CIOs has really helped us to see the art of possibilities. Because remember, we're trying to address the similar concerns and deal with similar
Right.
issues and also explore similar opportunities. But depending where we come from, perspective could be different. So to me, learning from
Yeah.
others has always been my own go-to piece also. And
Yeah.
that's how you grow as an individual, also grow as an organization. And that also helps my team to understand the art of possibility. What are others doing? What are others thinking about it? How does that model apply to us? And then take that model and try to scale it for a district our size.
Thank you for that. At the Canadian EdTech AI Summit, you'll be kicking off on the Fireside Chat. Can you give us a glimpse of some of the themes or insights that you anticipate exploring at this?
I think it's important to where everyone is on AI scale. Not everyone is at the leading edge. Some are just trying to get off the ground. Some of different engagement levels across the country and see where everyone is. So I think it will be cool to see from starters to really some mature school districts who've been playing in this space for a while to hear all their thoughts and feedbacks. So I'm excited about to just share that learning and also challenge ourselves saying what else we would like to see, not from just our own uh, districts, on our own teachers and students, but also other organizations which are external to us but has a huge impact on us. It will be nice to hear some of the things where how is your local Ministry of Education is involved in initiatives like that one. What does the funding models look like on these fronts when it comes to AI investments? How are organizations navigating that additional requirements when it comes to skill sets? Because AI needs a next generation of skills in the shops, and how is public sector navigating that resource requirements? So I think those will be some of the key things. I'll love to hear others how they are navigating.
Right. And so, when you look at it from an equity perspective and access, our core values of the TDSB is an example. And how are you ensuring that AI integration doesn't widen existing digital divides, but rather support inclusive learning? And the whole sustainability piece is another challenge. And then funding. So these are three real key challenges. We're going to be tabling the C21 Canada task force report on AI that you were part of the Summer Institute this summer. These were some of the issues and challenges that were common across the country. How are you as the largest district? Perhaps the province should be stepping up, or the federal government as well. Like, it's a matter of national interest, isn't it? When it's this significant a change in our society, like water and the internet access, if you will.
I think it's easy for us to look at it, what others can do for the education sector, but I also believe in that we who are in the shop also needs to step up and make sure
Mm-hmm.
some of the core pieces are in place. And
Mm-hmm.
then once you have your own house in order and you start to see some success, then other important partners will try to connect with that success and make it even better. So I think it starts with all district's own success too, and then only we can leverage others. If we keep waiting for others to do something, either it's provincial funding or federal funding, we might
Mm-hmm.
not make that kind of progress.
Yeah.
But I think the school districts also needs to make an effort that they wanted to go in this direction and look at some of the local uh, business cases or classroom
Mm-hmm.
academic scenarios where this AI platform can really make an impact. I think that's extremely important. Just waiting on others to do something and then think about moving forward, it will be a hard sell, and we could be waiting for years and years,
Right.
and we will see that as a missed opportunity. So
Yeah.
to
Well
me,
said.
it's a multi-pronged approach for sure. But you, as a school district, also have to have a key interest that you do want to take this path, and others will actually join you in sort of standing up and walking. You will be running soon as partners.
And that's a good segue to the next question around what you see as promising AI use cases that you've seen. You've been part of the C21 uh, AI use case project, and we've got a couple of your uh, featured use cases from the TDSB. What have you seen either in Toronto or across the country that are truly enhancing teaching and learning? Because you're hearing all kinds of stories on a regular basis about what's working and what's not. I'm curious from your perspective what
I
you
think
might.
some
And I'm just sharing our AI project. There's a couple of There's three TDSB ones here as an example.
definitely, and you can clearly see that it does not have to be a single approach, and from school administrators to actually help them in day-to-day routine stuff, to all the way, how can we take AI as part of the STEM program itself, and
Hmm.
also engaging the community itself too. So again, these are few good examples we have seen at TDSB. But I always believe that when you have some unique successes in one area, for us, how do we take it from a small set of schools or family of schools and scale it to all
Hmm.
579 schools? I think that's the work that we are now heavily engaged in, saying we do have pockets of innovation, and how do
Right.
we actually move these wonderful practices and ideas from island space to into a mass uh, landscape across the district itself. So that's what I see as an opportunity for us as leaders to create those conditions to make it happen.
And we talked about the speed of change. I have a challenge keeping up with the latest tools, and I don't know what the number of tools. I remember you mentioning there's 12,000 tools out there for education at one point, and now with AI, that number is exponential, isn't it? It's like uh, I think what the edtech industry needs to understand is pace of change, right? It doesn't happen overnight. There's always a lot of pent up desire to do a pilot, if you will, right? What does that look like? And to you
I
today,
think it's good to have the choice, the volume of platforms and tools. I always worry about the data, the data we have on students and staff itself. How do we actually have those guardrails in place to make sure it does not leave um, our ecosystem? So I think that's one thing that worries about me. Um, there are lots of platforms out there, and you as an individual can easily commit to it, where your private personal data gets siphoned off. I think those are the key pieces I worry about. But again, the power is there. What it can do is definitely out there, but it's making things sometimes simple for stakeholders. The security controls sometimes are lapsing there, and I just worry about that piece. But opportunity is definitely there, and you can spend days, hours and hours every day looking at these newer, I will say, AI uh, tools. Those are being pumped into the market now. And in some cases, you got to also be careful, especially on the business side. And I remember at one time we were heavily being marketed around RPAs and chatbots, and suddenly all that noise disappeared. Everyone is talking about agentic AI. And I
right?
always question that. How did you
Yeah,
overnight now? Did you put a wrapper around that old software you had it sitting around and you just rebranded and you're selling it differently? So I sometimes question that, where is this market
right.
going in so fast? And overnight they have pivoted from these different concepts to a newer concept. So then you have to do your due diligence when you actually onboard some of these
Yeah,
environments and pay some really uh, deep attention to some of these models and concepts and algorithms. Those are coming as part of these packages. So
yeah. No, well said. Finally, for ed leaders and teachers and industry partners joining us at the summit, what message would you share to inspire them as we move forward to a human centered, AI empowered education system?
I always believe that we are all students first, and I think that should not stop. So I think the conferences, the one you're organizing, are very important for that. Networking, peer-to-peer learning, sharing things those are working well, and also flagging things those we should be thinking about it. So my message is never stop exploring, learning, trying newer things, and that's how we continue to grow and make things better around us in our shops and in our personal and professional lives.
Peter Singh, with that, thank you again for your leadership and for setting the stage for what's sure to be a meaningful and solution focused summit. We're grateful for your commitment to building an AI ready, equitable, and innovative learning ecosystem, uh, both across the TDSB, my alma mater, and across the country in helping kids thrive. So, to our viewers, don't miss this opportunity to hear from Peter Singh and many other national and international leaders at the 16th Canadian EdTech Summit, October 29th to 30th at the University of Toronto, Mississauga, the home of the pioneer of AI, Dr. Hinton, who's a professor emeritus. To register, go to C21 or MindShareLearning.ca and get your code MSL100 for $100 off. My name is Robert Martellacci of the MindShare Learning Report and chair of the Canadian EdTech Summit. Until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the digital learning curve steep.